So after I'm done speaking, I go home and turn on the TV to listen to them, like, take me down. Um, City Manager Joe Slocum starts going off about the copies, how he has spent 19 hours pulling these documents where I had only requested zoning documents, 1 page apiece, would total 13, and I think I even knocked it down to eight zoning requests. And he says he's made copies for me several times before. Let me tell you something. Way back when this first started going on, back in April and May of 2011, all doors started slamming shut. Maps that were on the wall that I saw that proved the flooding were taken down and went missing, went into hiding. After speaking with Bob Whiteley, the tax assessor, when I came into his office in November 2011 and found that map that they withheld from me that shows that there was not a natural stream running through Seaview Terrace, but a man-made ditch for a Route 1 runoff. There was never a stream there. We started talking about Captain Albert Stevens School and started looking at the corruption over there. He is the one who told me to ask for the final approved site plans for Captain Albert Stevens School, and I could not get them. I sent a Freedom of Information Act to the planning office, and they made me wait a few weeks. I told them I wanted to see all the stormwater. That was a wetland site. There had to be Army Corps of Engineers, DEP. Butters were complaining there should have been a whole slew of stormwater issues. The Robertson School was supposed to get knocked down and be turned into an athletic ground absorbing field, and 2 years into the construction, all of a sudden that plan changed and the school was staying, and then all the drainage things went corrupt after that. So when Wayne told me that he had the documents ready, I walked into his office and there was like 4 or 5 huge thick files. It took me 2 days, over 6 hours. My daughter was with me. She was sick. Her head was on the counter. It was awful. And I went through every document. There was not one item there on stormwater. I found one thing that referenced that the Captain Albert Stevens School runoff was supposed to go to run out through Miller Street and down to the bay. And that was a 10-page document. I asked for a copy of that. They wouldn't give it to me on the spot. I had to come back for it. And when I came back for it, Wayne was not in the office. Marie gave it to me, the administrative assistant, and that page was missing. I only got 9 pages. I asked her to find that original copy for me, and she looked and she couldn't find it. I told her to let me see the files again, and she gave them to me, opened them up. There was a bonanza full of all the stormwater documents, the Army Corps, the DEP, everything was in there. I just started crying. Engineers' reports. I had to hurry up and grab the conditions of compliance before Wayne came back in to get one copy, but City Council didn't care that they tainted the public information request. I never got it. So that's why, every time he's talking, Joe's talking about that, I don't come in. It's because he's not giving me the documents. So I've asked Roger or any city council to come with me when Slocum says he has the documents ready and make sure that I'm getting what I'm asking for. But none of them will. And that's what you hear Roger saying, that he doesn't validate documents. It's just... Ugh. And to have my neighbor speak against me, he got so nasty with me and was harassing me. The chief of police back then, Chief Trafton, told me I should get an order of protection against him. And I did. That was back in 2011. I mean, these people are just unbelievable. I think they're like lizards. Okay, here we go.
And while we're doing that, we'll go open to the public. Please state your name and where you're from.
Brianna, Belfast. Didn't appreciate you talking about me after I left. Could have done it while I was here. So let's get through this. You disagree with flooding us? You're not a natural outlet. Here is the plans that Wayne Marshall withheld from me, that Bob Whiteley was looking at in November when I stormed his office to find out that this ditch was moved, so it was never a natural stream. Here you go, you're a planning guy. Lot number 5, that's my house. Here it is right here, pushing it back. Not natural, right? Once you move something, it's not at my house. Here it is right here, pushing it back. Not natural, right? Once you move something, it's not natural. I'm just telling you, it's not natural. Okay? Anybody else want to see this? Saying I'm a liar? Oh, you've seen it. Now you don't agree. Your corrupt never come clean, do they? So the ordinance is 62-192. Stormwater and all other unpolluted water. Stormwater and all other unpolluted drainage may be discharged to such sewers as specifically designated as storm sewers or to a natural outlet approved by the city. We are not a natural outlet, but that's what you keep saying. When Joe came in August of 2011 to inspect, and you can see the emails on boycottbelfast.blogspot.com, where he keeps saying that it's a 100-year-old natural stream, and it's not. So according to that Joe keeps saying that, he's doing it so that he can send all this runoff to us from as far away as Captain Albert Stevens School, almost 2 miles away, and force it all down through Belfast, down to Seaview Terrace down here. So you had, and there's an illegal outlet there at the tanks because you did $2 million of stormwater improvements to take the runoff from the Cass School and bring it down to Miller School. But then you got this sneaky little outlet here that wasn't approved, and which sends it all down to the watershed residents, which is why Cedar Street was getting flooded. All the residents are getting flooded. And they come here to you and you all deny them and just keep building developments. So you're bringing it down through the Birches, down double culverts over to White Street, through Tall Pines, down Mid-Coast Mental Health. Everybody's accumulating snow there, more zoning conditions violated. Don't even get me going on that here. That's all I wanted to know about is the zoning conditions, why you were allowing these places to stockpile snow that was going to melt to us. The Volunteers of America, even across from Route 1, you have culverts where the terrain wouldn't allow the water to flow down to us. You're sending it across Route 1 into these culverts to come down Route 1 south to more culverts directly into Seaview Terrace. So all this, and from behind the homes, and you couldn't provide me any maps on this either, Joe. You were going to start charging me hundreds and thousands of dollars to go digging deep because you didn't have any maps available. So I went out and tracked this all on my own and just followed the water coming right down here to Seaview Terrace, where not one drop of water should be coming in here. It's all illegal. We're a floodplain, flood zone. You are bound to divert water from us, not send it to us. You're drowning us. It's a disgrace. So if you go to the Boycott Belfast blogspot, there's maps there that I snapped the last time I was here that show the original development when it was a farm in 1939, and there's not any stream running through there. It looks like when the farm was sold off and the new Route 1 was getting constructed, they must have got an easement or something to dig that ditch through there for a runoff. And then the Seaview Terrace subdivision was approved, and that's this, when they said, okay, well, we got to push that ditch back now to allow for more houses on the lot. So it's not a natural stream. So, on the last request with the city attorney, with those fees, the city attorney naturally has a detailed billing for everything he bills to the city. One phone call, 5 minutes, he can provide all those, and he should. The rest is public spending on projects, and certainly you already have those figures. The 4 years I'm requesting are the 4 years you've spent tax dollars where I pleaded for infrastructure for you to stop drowning, destroying, and endangering the properties and residents in the flood zone, floodplain of Seaview Terrace. Your law breaking is throughout the city, issuing permits when conditions have not been met, allowing sites to violate site conditions, piling snow, the city performs work on private property. You lied and denied about that 3 times when I finally cornered you on that, and then you finally admit it and it's saying to save the roads, which is another lie. So You're saying that I never came in to see these? Tell me, Roger, how many times did I ask you to come in and validate the documents? What was I looking for? This was the request.
I don't validate documents.
Well, let's just go through this here. You're city council. You're supposed to be assisting me. You guys are all just running away, hiding your corruption. It's disgraceful. So
Laurie.
hold on.
Oh, wait, just a minute.
Yeah.
I want you to come in and address the council, but do it with a civil tongue, will you
I'm
please?
very upset that you spoke
You
about
might be
Mr.
upset,
Abbott.
but do it with a civil tongue
Yes,
and address
Mr.
the
Abbott.
council orderly.
Roger that. So the request that he spent 19 hours pulling this, I mean, this is exactly why I need somebody to validate this stuff, because that's not what I asked for. And this is what happens. Just overwhelm me with everything in the kitchen sink, but the actual things that I'm asking for. So in that mess, the request is supposed to be for zoning conditions of approval, for plowed snow removal, for 13 sites. 13 documents. I don't know what all that is. And you had an aerial photograph that you wanted to show me, clearly showing the stream before Seaview Terrace was built. I don't know what you're doing with all those maps. You had one that you wanted to show me. And that's it. Oh, and the final approved site plan for the Captain Albert Stevens School, which I have never been able to get, that I've been requesting since July of 2011. One plan. So one plan, 13 zoning conditions, right? And the last one, the last request, are those zoning conditions. I just trimmed it down more in hopes of getting just a couple to stop the snow from melting that shouldn't even be coming to us, but I'm trying to get these zoning conditions so that the sites stop violating and piling snow all season long, because all of that melts to us, which almost wiped us out in 2009. It almost took Becky Gibbons' car out. And Joe, when you came for the inspection, you said she was lucky that her house didn't get knocked off the foundation. Yes, you did.
No, I absolutely never, ever said that.
Of course you didn't. It's a 100-year-old natural stream, and you don't do work on private property, blah, 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 blah.
This is why I don't talk to you, Ms. Allen, because you do not repeat what I say to you accurately, ever.
Okay, who's telling the truth here?
We are.
Water does not lie. You are?
We are.
This is a natural outlet? Tell me what gives you the right to send all that water to Seaview Terrace. You've been at this for so long, lying, that you don't even know. Cognitive dissonance. So, public, trust me, go to my blogs, look at the pictures. They don't lie. The water doesn't lie. It's all there. And I'll keep at it, and I'll go to all the real estate agents, protesting, spreading the word how corrupt you guys are and what you do to residents. No problem. 'Cause I can't sell. I'm not going anywhere.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else you want to say? Or here, let me turn around and stab you in the back.